On this episode, we break down the 2024 SEC schedule release that details matchups for the 16 members, including the Big 12 defectors and powerhouse programs Oklahoma and Texas. We also provide our key takeaways, matchups, and reaction as the teams start a new 8-game conference slate plus one Power 5 opponent. But first, all right, so John, the SEC released the 2024 schedule, and we now have Oklahoma and Texas join the SEC. It's now a 16-team conference schedule. So what were your first thoughts of the new SEC schedule?
Okay, so we both live down here in the South in Alabama, and
That's right.
of all the sports, college football reigns king down here. We like NFL, we like the Braves a lot, but college football is the king, and the SEC has been the premier conference for the past 15, 20 years. So we're all about SEC football.
That's right.
And it looks like, so with adding these two new teams, there are no longer Eastern and Western divisions. It's going to take some getting used to. And the other big change, like you said, is going to be adding Oklahoma and Texas. So we're entering a whole new world of college football between new SEC, new playoffs, and the NIL. So college football is going to be interesting to see how it is going forward.
Right. And I like what they did here. So they broke the 16 teams and they took they're still going to have the traditional rivals, but they also took the winning percentages and they broke it into the top 8 winning percentages based on the SEC teams, the 14 SEC teams. And then they took the bottom 8 of the SEC teams or the Big 12 based on their winning percentage. And they're going to have 2 home and 2 away of the top 8 winning teams and 2 home, 2 away of the bottom 8. And so it's really a balanced schedule. And then you're still going to have your traditional rivals of, say, Alabama versus Tennessee, things like that.
So I didn't know they were taking into account the winning percentages. And from what I understand, this schedule we have is just going to be for 2024. So the 2025 debate is still coming. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. And there are also another interesting factors. Every SEC team has to play a team from the Power 5 or a major independent team. So the strength of schedule is going to be very strong.
So we're going to have, you got 8 conference games. You got to play a premier additional opponent, and then you have conference championships and potential 3 games in the college football playoffs. So some of these teams are going to be playing a lot of games.
Right. And another nice thing is I saw that the SEC teams, no SEC team's going to have to play both Oklahoma and Texas. They're just going to play one or the other. So that'll help on strength schedule too from, some of these teams just getting beaten down. And poor Vandy. I mean, they got to play all these teams. So
yeah, Vandy's going to have it rough anyways. But now when we're adding 2 more top tier football programs, it's not like we're adding another cupcake for Vandy to at least have a chance.
Right.
So I guess we're going to have some familiarity with retaining rivals. So Alabama's going to have Tennessee and Auburn every year. Auburn's in a bad position because they're going to be stuck with having to play Alabama and Georgia every year.
Right.
And so I really think as we're playing through the season, it's going to feel the same for the most part. But then when we're walking into the SEC championship, I think the last couple of weeks is when it's going to start feeling different because now the top 2 teams are going to play in the SEC championship. It's no longer going to be an East and West,
right?
So you won't have a lopsided situation,
right? I think one thing that could happen, though, is you could have a repeat thing, like where you could have Alabama play Auburn and then they play them right again for the SEC championship. So that'll be different.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, what happens if you have a situation where they're both top teams in the Iron Bowl and then they play in the SEC championship and then they both make the college football championship, or the college football playoffs? So it wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there's potential for a team playing the same team 3 times going forward.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because you got to think, I mean, the teams that are going to be in the SEC championship, you got the top 2 teams in the SEC. the SEC is going to be putting 2, maybe 3 teams in the college football playoffs.
Right.
So, so
Which
we'll
is
probably
increasing
see
to
that.
what, 8 teams right now that they decide to go to?
So they're going to be at 12 teams.
Okay, wow.
And so each of the 5 conference championships, the 5 leading conference champions, and then the rest of the teams are going to be at large. And the top 4 teams from the conference champions will get a bye, and then 8 teams will play in the first round.
Okay.
With the top seed getting to play at home at their stadium. So, whole different world with college football. It's going to be really interesting. I feel very hopeful as a fan. The 12-team playoff is going to be a lot of fun. Seeing Alabama play Oklahoma, Georgia playing Texas, and what I'm really excited for is Texas versus Texas A&M.
Oh
That will
yeah,
be fun to get that back on the
the
schedule.
rivalry renewed, man,
Yeah.
from the Big 12 days. So
And then one more thing. So one of the big things I've noticed about this new schedule is, yeah, the SEC teams are going to be playing a schedule that they're mostly familiar with, but now you have Texas and Oklahoma coming in, and they're going to have to get used to playing. You're going to have a schedule where you have to play Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M. They
right,
are in a whole different world than the Big
tough
12
games,
schedules. Yeah.
tough games week in and week out.
Yep, it's going to be a whole different world for those teams, but should be exciting. It's great for fans. We'll see how this NIL and transfer portal plays into all this, but
Right.
I'm
Yeah, I mean, you can
very
have a whole
hopeful.
new team, from one year to the other. So
Yep,
we could
yep,
see like Auburn completely rebound as well
yep. And
by
because I
then.
know Freeze was hitting the portal hard.
Right. Yeah, you just hit on one of the games that I thought was important coming in 2024 with Texas playing.
The
Who'd you say?
Aggies,
Oh, Texas
A&M.
playing Texas
Yeah.
A&M. But Georgia, they're also coming to Alabama, and that should be a great,
Oh,
clash of titans of college football. And then
yep.
Georgia's also traveling to Texas, and that should be the first year that Archie Manning's starting quarterback.
Oh,
So
wow.
that would be
Now
a
I
big
don't know.
test.
I don't know if Arch is going to be the starting quarterback. I've heard he's had some issues adapting to the college game. I heard he might
Yeah,
have been an overhyped recruit, but we'll find out.
right. He had a soft high school career,
Yeah.
possibly, strength of schedule, so strength of opponent. And then I saw Alabama's coming to Oklahoma, and that's a matchup we hadn't seen in a regular season, in over 20 years, and that was just some great games.
Yep. The Crimson Brotherhood. I've seen that.
Yep.
Alabama and Oklahoma. The Crimson Brotherhood's going to have to fight it out on
Yeah.
the field.
That was some great college football playoff matchups as well. So, and then you got Texas. They're going to Arkansas, and while Texas might not see that as a rival, Arkansas definitely does. So that'll be very important to their fan base and a great game, I think, as well.
All right. Well, we're excited for football this year. Can't wait. We're just a couple months out, so I'm buckled up, ready to go.
Yeah, man, it should be fun. I can't wait. So 2023 is going to be a great year for college football, and then I just can't wait for 2024 when Texas, Oklahoma join the ranks too. So should be fun to watch. And one thing I wanted to mention, we've also got a new website. It's otdsports.community.forum. It's got the homepage has some great latest sporting news on it. And then we've also got a forum where the community can join. Come talk to us. We're on there.
Yep. Talk trash. We'll be there.
Yep. All right. Well, this has been fun. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
See ya.